We just cannot get enough Jameson Williams talk, so let's talk about him some more. Hello everyone, my name is Derek and welcome back to Detroit Lions Syndicate. You already know what we do on this channel. We talk all things Detroit Lions. So I got to give a shout out to one of my subscribers. At least I hope you're a subscriber. He had a phenomenal saying that I'm going to borrow if it's okay with you. He said, happy to infiltrate the syndicate. So infiltrate the syndicate by subscribing to the YouTube channel. You will not regret it. Before we get started, I know yesterday I said that the Detroit Lions had drafted all defense after they drafted Jameson Williams. Sometimes when you're recording and you're just rolling, man, you say stuff wrong, but you guys caught it and corrected it in the comments, and I appreciate that. Nothing like the Lions community to keep you on your toes. A little more on Dan Campbell turning in the draft card for Aiden Hutchinson. It was actually some type of violation. According to the NFL, you have to wait a certain amount of time before you can turn in your card. They like drama, they like ratings. So I don't know if there's a penalty for that, but that's what Dan Campbell, who still hasn't got in front of the media about the draft, after the draft, but he spoke to Albert Breer, and more about that conversation is coming out. A lot more news as well. Looks like the Detroit Lions tried to make a play for Deebo Samuel before trading for Jameson Williams. Now, according to Brad Holmes, he said Jameson was always the pick. That was the guy they wanted from the very beginning. But it comes out that they tried to make a push for Deebo Samuel, and that the compensation they tried to send to San Francisco was 32 and 34. So we've got Deebo Samuel. The 49ers are playing hardball. They do not want to pay Deebo, but nor do they want to let him go. So I'm not sure if Deebo Samuel will be a 49er when the 2022 NFL season kicks off. Looks like the Detroit Lions did try to make a play. When that fell through is when they went all in for Jameson Williams. So very intriguing, man. After the draft, all of this stuff is coming out. I know we haven't gotten to the meat of this video, but I got to take this opportunity to thank each and every one of you. Yesterday was the biggest video I've ever done on the Detroit Lions. You ready for some stats? We always talking about stats. Listen to this. We had over 8,000 views. We grew 121 subscribers. There were over 600 hours of watch time, and the best video I've ever done about the Detroit Lions. So I couldn't have done it without you. So I had to take this opportunity to say thank you. I hope you don't mind the long introduction, but I like to thank my viewers, man. So I thank you a lot. If you haven't noticed, the Detroit Lions have become a pretty hot topic after the NFL draft, acquiring Aiden Hutchinson and Jameson Williams. Now, we did get 5 more defensive players and 1 tight end as well after we drafted Jameson. And those 2 picks alone, man, are putting us in the national media spotlight. Everyone from Chris Sims to people off the NFL Network, wherever you look, they're talking about our Detroit Lions. It's something I haven't seen in a positive manner in a long time. The last time we were talked about was the departure of Matthew Stafford. And then before that, a little while, was the firing of Matt Patricia and Bob Quinn. So the Detroit Lions are starting, and I told you guys, and I'll keep telling you, the NFL narrative, those winds of the narrative are starting to blow, and they are coming our way. You just have to wait and see. But the meat of this video is Brad Holmes and Jameson Williams. Brad Holmes, listen, y'all, I got to say this, man. This draft would have told me a lot about Brad Holmes, and it's hard to see the big picture in the moment. And I understand now, and yes, I feel better about the defensive picks. But I understand now the strategy of getting a wide receiver like Jameson Williams. We caught the attention of the NFL. Now, you might be saying, well, Derek, how can we catch the attention of the NFL if the Lions are part of the NFL? Because usually we catch their attention for the wrong reasons. But now we are getting talked about by the NFL main page. And they talked about the strategy that was used by Brad Holmes to get Jameson Williams. And Brad Holmes confessed that the wide receiver that he always wanted was Jameson Williams. Now, I know we talked about Deebo earlier, but he didn't just go up to get any wide receiver. He went up to get Jameson Williams. But he did it, and I love why he did it. It all makes sense now. It's like Hannibal from the A-Team. I love it when a plan comes together. It's very difficult sometimes in your emotions to see the long picture, the long game. But that is what Brad Holmes is playing. He is playing the long game. As Lions fans, it's tough to trust the process because it's something we haven't seen done correctly. But I must admit, Brad Holmes appears to have knocked this one out of the park. just like he did last year. But the reason that it was so important to get Jameson Williams in that first round was because of the 5th-year option. That's right. Brad Holmes not only went to go get the best receiver in the draft, but he also wanted, it was a strategy to it, of getting him to stick around longer. Because we know we have seen the most ridiculous contracts come out in the last 2 months for wide receivers. And if Jameson would have gone in the second round, not only would he still brought the same production, no doubt, but he would have had only 4 years where the Detroit Lions can lock him up on that rookie contract for 5 years. And very similar to picking up TJ Hawkinson's 5th-year option in his 4th year, we can do the same with Jameson Williams. So it looks like Jameson Williams will be a Detroit Lion for at least 5 years before no doubt requiring a monster contract. Now, if you think about the situation, we're talking about 2027 before Jameson Williams will probably become a free agent and require a boatload of money. Could you imagine what the receivers will be getting paid 5 years from now? So Brad Holmes is low-key appearing to be a genius. He's like the Doogie Howser of the NFL, man. When talking about Jameson Williams and why they made the move they did, here's what Brad had to say. We saw how it was unfolding, and we saw there was a chance to possibly acquire Jameson. We were pretty set on going up and getting him. And again, it wasn't going up to get a wide receiver. It was going up to get him. That's not saying anything about the quarterbacks or anything like that. It was just the fact that Jameson was available. We felt good about going up to get him. It also didn't hurt that Jameson Williams was coming off an ACL tear about 4 months ago. The typical recovery for that is between 5 and 7 months. Some believe he would have slid at least to the second round, very similar to how David Ajabo went going in that second round. But the Detroit Lions saw what this guy could bring to the table. They went up to the first round to get him. So Brad Holmes can already see the future and sees what a dynamic playmaker this young man will be. And as I said, the wide receiver market exploded. We saw Christian Kirk get a ridiculous deal. Devontae Adams, Tyreek Hill, Deebo Samuel now wants a deal. Everybody wants to get paid, and it's going to get worse as the years go on. So low-key, Brad Holmes made a grown man move, made a very strategic, smart, thoughtful move to look toward the future to kind of control how this thing was going to go for the years to come. DK Metcalf being drafted in the second round, he is up for a contract next year. He and Deebo Samuel are in the last years of their rookie deals, and they're going to want monster contracts at this time next year. So I really love this move by Brad Holmes, man. The more I sit down and look at it, and again, we got our defensive guys, the best defensive guy as well. We got a safety, got a linebacker, Malcolm Rodriguez, who looks like he's got potential as well. I can relax now. So I'm sorry you had to see that guy, man, but I'm sick of losing. I want to win, okay? Forgive me. And when it comes to the difference between that first round and second round, it's not only position, but it's contracts as well. Here's what Brad Holmes had to say about that. Those guys going in the second round or later, there is a big picture viewpoint with their contracts. Those guys are really players. Then after year 3 or whatever it is, those guys want to get paid. Their contracts, those contracts are swelling at an alarming amount. He continues, I would say it's good to have that 5th-year option on a guy like that when you look at the totality of it. With Jameson specifically, he was a guy where there was total buy-in, total conviction. I was just in love with him. I said, look, this is a guy that we want to get, and I think he can be a game changer for us. Game changer was a word that we heard a lot of during the lead up to the NFL draft, and I think that Jameson Williams will be that for the Detroit Lions. We see what happened with the Tennessee Titans, how they completely, A.J. Brown wanted to be paid, they got rid of him and drafted a wide receiver instead, and that's what's going on nowadays. So Brad Holmes, man, the more I dissect this, the more of a genius he appears to be. I'm telling you. So I have fully embraced the Jameson Williams pick. So there you go. To all my returning viewers, I appreciate you. You are the lifeline of this channel. Without you, there is no growth, and I appreciate that. If you are a new viewer and you have not yet subscribed, then come back in a few videos. If you like what you see, hit the subscription button. You guys are awesome. Take care of yourself, and as always, go Lions.